Huw Turbervill here, editor of the Cricketer magazine, and I've got a very exciting guest for my next Huw Meets series, which you can find on YouTube, and it's England's left arm seam bowler, Reece Topley, and he's very kindly hosting me. Reece, thank you very much. We won't say where it is, because you don't want your house invaded by fans, do we? But you're very kind, because
no problem.
You just got back, haven't you, from the IPL?
Got back yesterday from the IPL, so
Don, be quiet. Don's rattling around in the background. Don, Reece's dad.
Just got back, so pretty tired from the journey, but it was a great experience. Obviously, I'd like to have got more game time, but I've left the side in a pretty good place in chances of qualifying, which is good. All eyes to, I think, is the last game where the beach and a certain amount will probably qualify. So it's exciting.
It's a shame the timing. You have to come back early, isn't it?
But
you've got England duty.
Yeah, I mean it's quite an important series in the context of the T20 World Cup that's coming up. But yeah, obviously at this stage of my career, England's still a priority.
So Royal Challengers Bengaluru,
changed.
What's it like being part of that? It's grand, I'd say. Exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's got this different feel of any other sort of sporting or cricket competition I've been involved with. Obviously, Bangalore's slightly, or each city in India is very different. And Bangalore's quite a westernised one. There's a lot of big companies that you see when you're there that you're familiar with because you see them back home, which you don't necessarily do when you're in Ahmedabad or places like that. And the fandom is just unbelievable. It's almost on a par with football here. The atmosphere is amazing. I love playing there. I mean, it's a tough place to bowl, but it's a good challenge. If anything, it's almost like there's nothing to lose because everyone expects the batsmen to score runs and expects the bowlers to get hit. So it's nice, different challenge to playing at some other grounds.
Hotels. You say it's like being like a Real Madrid player, probably just with thousands of fans hanging around.
I mean there's times where we've been out with various players and we get absolutely swarmed. There was one time in Dharamshala just now where Faf got on the back of someone's moped and the guy just went off with Faf on the back, which is hilarious. But
Faf du Plessis.
No, the fandom is amazing. I don't know, it just depends. Different people deal with it in different ways. I'm thankful that I'm not such a big name that I don't get it as much as some of the other guys, and some of the other guys I don't envy them actually, because it's a different experience for them when they tour for sure. Well,
you're with the king, Virat Kohli. There's nobody bigger that is. So he's one of those people who gets that attention.
Yeah, I mean, playing alongside Virat was, it's an amazing experience. Obviously, that you've got that side of it, the fandom, but also what he does and how hard he works. It just sort of rubs off on you, or you have the ability to sort of get the inside info in a way, and you can see how someone that is such a legend in their game, how they go about their business. So there's always something to learn. So I think that's the best part of the experience, is that you can absorb so much knowledge and so much know-how, or not tactics, but the stuff off the field, and how you can excel.
I think I heard from your dad, he's a nice chap. He's really welcoming to you.
Yeah, no, he's an amazing bloke. I think at Bangalore, we're lucky that our change room was filled with great characters. Virat's obviously always willing to chat to anyone or offer any information. But like I said, I found that the learning is best by just sort of like observing him go about his work. There's always something.
He has restaurants as well, doesn't he?
Probably. I don't know what he does, but he's got all kinds of investments or whatever. But
must be nice to have been out there with a pal, Will Jacks.
Yeah, no, Jackson had a great tournament. I was in the gym when he got his 100, and crazily, I decided to leave. And by the time that I actually got to the dugout, he was on 100. It was such a quick time in terms of balls where he got from 50 to 100. So I was grateful that I was just managed to sneak out and see it, because I was obviously so pleased for another Surrey player.
Yeah, augurs well. So augurs well for the World Cup, his form, and you're off to the West Indies. You looking forward to that?
Yeah, the West Indies is a great place to tour. Obviously, it's the added pressures of being a World Cup. Obviously, we were there in, I think, November, and it was a great tour, because obviously you got the beaches and the way of life is brilliant. But then, a World Cup is going to add a different kind of angle to touring there for sure. And fingers crossed. I remember watching I don't know what year it was, but the T20 World Cup win in the Caribbean, and that's definitely sort of
2010.
Yeah, that's a feeling, and I remember where I was when that happened, and I'd love to sort of give someone else that experience of remembering where they were if we achieved the feat again.
Yeah, definitely. No, it was very exciting, wasn't it? So you got the World Cup, and then you probably hopefully come and play some Blast and 100.
Yeah, Blast, 100, and then Australia, and maybe is it Ireland as well? Yeah, so it's a full-on summer, and I'm just excited to take a sort of month at a time, because each month there's almost like a different competition. So there's a lot to play for, and it's one of those summers that hopefully when I'm finished, I'll look back at the summer of 2024 and look back on it really fondly.
What's it like playing in front of even like 28,000 crowd at the Oval?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm right in saying that's one of the reasons you moved to Surrey. You wanted to play in front of those crowds.
Yeah, obviously that's the pull. Any big stadium, you want to sort of play your trade in front of a good crowd, an animated crowd. It's not any more pressure playing in front of a big crowd. It's almost strange, because you just hear one roar of the crowd, as opposed to when you play in front of 100 people, you can hear 100 individual voices. So I think that's sort of a strange thing that people that play club cricket won't find out. But it's when you play a championship match and there aren't so many people, you can hear what the Leicester fan is hurling abuse at you, whereas you don't hear the individuals in a full stadium of
just a sort of wall of noise.
Yeah.
But I mean, the IPL, there's a sort of pyrotechnics and the dancers and everything. I mean, it's just crazy, isn't it? It's just so sort of exotic compared to English domestic cricket.
Yeah, everything they seem to do over there, it works. It goes from strength to strength. The tournament gets almost more, glamorous, and the fans just flock to it. Yeah, I don't know. It's all just obviously carefully thought out from the people that are involved with marketing or whatever. But it seems to just be growing exponentially and going from strength to strength.
You've never shown me the kind of social media accounts that the clubs have. It's quite impressive, isn't it? All that kind of.
Yeah, the social media side of the IPL was amazing, and it's almost like its own company. I think different teams make money off how big their followings are as well, so that's another source of revenue. It's almost like everything out there is a million miles an hour. It's brilliant, and I think it's so far ahead of everywhere else in the world.
So 50 over, still that's on, still concentrate on that.
Yeah, I think there's Champions Trophy in the new year, which I'd love to play in if I picked.
Don and I were in Lords. We were in the media centre watching you get your 6 for 24 against India in July 2022.
Yeah,
that was thrilling, wasn't it?
No, that's awesome.
Yeah. Is that your favourite memory of playing for England at the moment?
Yeah, it's my favourite memory playing for England for sure. There's a couple of other spells in different formats. I think I got a man of the match the week before as well in a T20 against India. So that was like a good week. I look back on really fondly. But yeah, that day at Lords was awesome. It was something that will live with me for so long. And every time I go back to Lords, they've got this thing hanging back on the back of the stands. But I read that they're gonna redevelop it. So I just hope that either I can nick that poster or they're just going to put up a nicer, bigger one.
I'm sure they'll keep them because they've just replaced them, haven't they? Because they were getting very faded.
Yeah.
Gooch's 333 was faded, so they've replaced it.
Yeah. No, but hopefully that will stay there, and it's obviously a really special place, and it's awesome to have that memory at such an iconic place.
Yeah, definitely. When you get on a roll like that, do you start? What's the danger, sort of overthinking it? And how have I got those 3 or 4 wickets?
No, it's like because you played so much, your experience just tells you. You know, a guy would come in, and it was almost like when you're in that sort of space, you just know what you're going to do. I knew I was going to get this guy nicked off, or I knew a slow ball he was going to chip it up in the air. Because I think the biggest thing with T20 and 50 over or one day cricket in general actually is the more you play as a bowler, you get that sixth sense of the batsman, he's under pressure and something's going to come here, or he's looking at this area. I think that comes with experience that you probably can't teach. You just have to. You learn from being in the middle. So when you're all over someone, you get the sense of like, this is how I'm going to get him out. You might look at your field or he's going to try this shot, etc. So I just remember that about the day. It was just, it was that I knew when I was going to bowl a slow ball to Shami, it was just going to go straight in the air. I knew, if I bowled here, he was going to nick it off, etc. It's strange. It's a hard thing to describe.
Just one of those days. Now, to finish off, you're very excited about the football developments in our beloved Suffolk, Ipswich Town.
Yeah.
And I hear you were trying to tell the people in India, about Ipswich and where it is.
No, the game was on against Huddersfield. It was just before we were going out to warm up, so I was trying to get some feedback from various people. I think I had BBC Suffolk, or I can't remember what channel, but I was listening to it on the radio on the bus on Lockie's phone, and Lockie and Cam are now Ipswich fans because of that run-in. They also were invested in it. I think there was a few Aussie boys playing for Ipswich as well, so Cam obviously he was behind the boys, and so I was listening to it, and then I was trying to explain to all the Indian lads how huge it was that Ipswich were back in the Premier League, and I was explaining my first ever game was watching Ipswich against Inter Milan. I don't know how 20 odd years ago at Portman Road, and ever since then it was just I don't know if it was me, but we've never got back to those heights.
You UEFA Cup under George Burley or something?
Yeah.
Wow, goodness me. They know Ed Sheeran, some of them. The Indian fans.
Ed
Sheeran.
Yeah. I explained that when I said, Ed Sheeran's a big fan. He's from this area, and they're just kind of nodding.
Have you met him? Ed?
No.
I don't know if he likes cricket. I think he does, doesn't he?
I think he does, but hopefully I'll see him at a town game.
Well, Reece, very kind of you to talk to me, especially after you've just flown in from India.
Yeah.
We must be shattered. So thanks very much.
No worries.
And I hope you have a cracking World Cup.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Thank you.